Aye.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Ordinance Administration's meeting for May 1st, 2023. If you are calling in a phone, you can press *9 to request to speak. If you're watching on a computer or device, there's a raised hand button that you can tap or press to request to speak. Please use either of these options to be recognized to speak. My name is Councilor Nolan. We have Councilor O'Hara, we have Councilor Majota, and we have Sherry White from the clerk's office. Is there anybody online?
Council Worthley is on as well.
And we have Council Worthley as well. And I will announce that we do have Melissa Textera Prince from the school committee is here for a other situation tonight. So first up, we're going to go with boards, committees, and commissions, and it's going to be a new appointment for the Animal Advisory Committee. We have Tom Markert, term to expire 2/15/26. Tom, you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, recently retired, moved to Gloucester, have a granddaughter in southern New Hampshire, so it's been a little handy for involvement with her. My wife's sister is in southern New Hampshire as well. We were from Albany, New York. Our kids were raised and born and all that in Albany, New York, but it was time to get a little closer to family as we retired here. So I've been a pharmacist my whole career, my whole life, and recently retired. I would probably get back into it maybe part-time if the right thing came up, but right now, stuff like this is what keeps me going. So I'm excited and interested in all that stuff. Happy to be in Gloucester.
Excellent.
Enjoying
Thank
the
you.
seafood and not the Bruins. Well, I hope to enjoy the Bruins and what they did to me. Okay, so they're calling it the worst of all Boston sports meltdowns.
I don't know about the worst. It's not close.
Well, they said the Brady.
07 is the worst.
Yeah. But
With the Patriots.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you'll definitely enjoy the sports, even local sports.
I went to Northeastern, so
Oh.
me and my wife actually met at New Wellesley Hospital. So.
Excellent. So I'll ask if there's any councilor questions or comments. We'll start with Councilor Majota.
No questions. Just as welcome to Gloucester. This is great that you're joining the boards. This stuff keeps us busy and it's very important for the city as well. So thank you.
Councilor O'Hara.
Thank you, Tom. Welcome. Thank you for willing to step up to help the city in the role of the Animal Advisory Committee. It's a committee which is getting more and more important as Gloucester becomes populated. People, particularly since COVID, have taken on animals, and unfortunately, they come with a cost, and we're seeing more and more complaints and more issues. So you will have your hands full, but I wish you the best and thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor O'Hara. Tom, thank you and welcome to the neighborhood. Thank you for being a pharmacist because they've caught a lot of mistakes my doctors haven't over the years. And I think you're going to like it here. The Animal Advisory Committee is new. It's a revised committee that the mayor's really putting his time into to make sure it happens. And I think you're going to be an asset to this. Have you been sworn in yet?
Nope.
Okay, that's not a problem. You can just reach out to the clerk's office and they'll take care of that. And then again, on the 9th, in front of the full city council, there'll be a Zoom meeting. If you could be there for that, that'd be wonderful.
Via Zoom. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
excellent. Thank you, Tom. And with that being said, do we have a motion, Councilor Majota?
Committee recommendation move to recommend that city council appoint Tom Markert, right?
Yep.
Okay, to the Animal Advisory Committee, term ending 2/15/26, and I so move.
Second,
All right, let's see, we got a roll call. And we'll start with Councilor O'Hara,
yes.
Councilor Majota,
Yes.
Councilor Nolan, yes, and that's 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Tom, thank you very much, and we'll see you on Tuesday, and you can stay if you like, or you can take off. It's up to you.
Okay.
It's a small agenda tonight, so it should be
Maybe
easy.
I'll stay then.
All right, so next up, we have the reappointment of Barbara Snare. Is Barbara on?
I do not see her online.
Okay, Barbara is a reappointment and known to the committee. So we don't have to have her present to vote on that. So without any objections, do we have a motion, Councilor Majota?
Committee recommendation move to recommend that the city council reappoint Barbara Snare to the Gloucester Housing Authority, term ending 5/17/28, and I so move.
Second,
Excellent. This is a good roll call again. We'll go with Councilor O'Hara,
yes.
Councilor Majota,
Yes.
Councilor Nolan. Yes, it's 3 in favor, 0 opposed. And next up, we have the licensing board, the famous Melissa Texera Prince.
Thank you.
How are you doing tonight, Melissa?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're doing well. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am born and raised in Gloucester, graduated Gloucester Public Schools, went on to college, graduated from law school in 2007 and passed the bar and decided not to practice law. I work at the courthouse. I've been there 30 years and been very active on the school committee for the past 14 years. And have been sitting on the licensing board for the past 3 years, filling out a term that Meredith Fine was sworn into. But I thoroughly enjoy working on the licensing board, even though it's a lot of work. I truly believe in the small business and giving our businesses support, especially during COVID. And just whatever we can do to help businesses succeed has really been a driving force for me staying on this board. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do, but I really enjoy the work. So I hope that I can continue to do so until 2029.
Oh, I definitely appreciate it.
Thanks.
So we'll start with council questions. Council Majota, do you have any questions or comments?
No, Melissa's resume speaks for herself, and yeah. That's it. You're awesome. You're great. So,
Thank you.
Council O'Hara.
Thank you. Melissa, thank you. And listening to you tell us about your educational, I really congratulate you on your achievement of going to law school and passing the bar. That's a tremendous feat. You should be very proud. As far as the licensing board, similar to Tom and the animal advisory, as Gloucester becomes more well-known, obviously restaurants are popping up and people are scratching and clawing for every license that's out there, particularly obviously the liquor licenses. That's where the profit is in the restaurants, or so I'm told. I appreciate your willingness to stand up. Obviously, it's a long term through 2029, but having the ability to enforce all the laws. My father was on the licensing board for a long time way back, and he took it extremely seriously, and I'm sure you do the same. And again, thank you very much for your willingness to step up. Wish you the best for the long term.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council O'Hara. Melissa, you've been awesome in every step that I've seen you do. The school committee, the licensing board as of recently, the work you do in the courthouse with the people of Gloucester. There's no doubt in my mind that you're not committed to the city and the people. And I really appreciate you stepping up and staying on the licensing board.
Thank you very much.
So with that being said, Council Majota, do we have a motion?
committee recommendation move to recommend that the city council reappoint Melissa Texera Prince to the licensing board, term ending 5/30/29, and I so move.
Second,
And this is by roll call. Council O'Hara,
yes.
Council Majota,
Absolutely.
Council Nolan, absolutely. Melissa, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You don't have to be there on Tuesday, but you can. And if you'd like to speak, you can certainly speak.
So just know we have a licensing board meeting that night. Our meeting starts at 6:30, so I'll probably be on from 6 to 6:30. If anything is gonna happen, then I'll be there, but if not, I'll kick over to my meeting, and if you need me for some reason, someone can just text me and I'll jump back to that
And
meeting.
we're all gonna say good things about you, so don't worry about it.
I'll go back and watch it the next day. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Nice to meet you too. Have a good night.
All right, take care. Next, we have CC 2022-004, Gilman Nolan Memhard, ordered that the city council audit and amend the GCO to be consistent with the new resident parking regulations adopted by the city council on May 25th, 2021. At this point, I'm gonna move this again.
Okay,
But
how far out?
let's move it right out of our busy season and let's go out at least 6 weeks on it.
All right,
Um,
so 6 weeks would be the middle of June, June 19th.
which should work perfect.
Okay,
And hopefully that gives time for them
Okay.
to get their stuff taken care of.
all right.
And I forgot my glasses again, but we don't have much going on tonight. So just bear with me.
You want me to read that?
I know, I can do that.
Okay.
So next up, we have number 3, CC 2023-11, Worthley, requested the traffic committee remove the traffic patterns at the intersection of Washington Street and Centennial Avenue to improve the traffic flow and improve pedestrian safety and make a written recommendation on the finding of their review, including any traffic ordinance amendments if recommended. And this was continued from 4/3/23. Council Worthley, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
We can. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Earlier today, I sent an email to Sherry. I'm not sure if she has it. And if not, I can share my screen. Sherry, did you get the document I sent you, the email I sent you?
I did. Yeah, the one at 5:16 this afternoon?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry if that's too late too. If we,
No, that's fine. I have it.
thank you. So initially, Frank Majota and I, we put an order together to send to the Traffic Commission to review this. And then there was that little hiccup where we learned that the council couldn't send things to the Traffic Commission, so I had to resubmit this. And the Traffic Commission did a site visit. It was actually very anxiety inducing watching the near misses at that intersection. When I started this initiative, it actually started from, I was at a mayoral debate and it was Mayor Verger at the time, Kenneth Verger, who said, maybe we should look at that intersection and potentially look at a stoplight. And I was like, wow, someone's looking at that. And so I thought, let's take a look at it with some professionals. And they're not recommending a stoplight, but they're recommending a number of things. And I think what would happen, so we did a site visit, as I mentioned, and they had a meeting just last week where they put these recommendations together. I think I would have to resubmit these as individual ordinance changes, and obviously work with Frank as the Ward 3 counselor and with the neighboring businesses and people in the neighborhood. I see this being a few months away before it's being ready to be submitted or being before O&A again. But unless you have any recommendations on either A, the process, or B, the individual recommendations, obviously it'll come before you again. But if you have any initial thoughts, I'd love to factor those things in.
All right, Council Worthley, I don't want to speak for Frank Majota, but I do think that this is something we should take some time. The new information we got from Bob Ryan today, which isn't in the packet, so we really can't go through it.
Right.
I think that this may be something that we also put off for the 6-week period. Does that work for yourself and Council Majota?
What I was thinking is that they need to be reintroduced as individual orders. So I don't actually think there's any action item right now. We asked them to review it and they did, and they came back with specific changes that I think each of those changes need to be submitted as new council orders. So I don't think it's more like information only now, and then maybe Councilor Majota and I, we can look through those lists and see if he wants to co-sponsor any of those changes. I just want to make note that when I started this, the chief of police had sent me a record saying that there were 55 accidents that were reported. And since then, there's been 56. And I would submit there's probably more that haven't been reported. You know, people don't always want their insurance to be an issue. So it's definitely a safety issue in that intersection. Everyone knows that intersection really well. And so I think right now, I don't think there is an action item. We asked them to review it. They did. And what you have is a summary of their review. And then I think we need to resubmit them, submit them as individual changes.
Not a problem. So Council Worthley, could you withdraw this from the order and you guys can draft up new ones?
Oh, I mean, I'm certainly happy to withdraw. I think the order was implemented, though. We asked them to review it, and they did. So if withdrawing is the right step, or just saying, accepting that they did the review and there's nothing to dispose of or continue, they
I would say to clean it up, to withdraw it. There's no motion offered. We're gonna be coming back with different motions for each of the
Sure, sure. I'd be happy to withdraw it then with the goal of submitting the individual recommendations. Yes.
So number 3 has been withdrawn. Thank you, Council Worthley, and you'll reach out to Council Conta. And you guys.
Yes, I will. Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy to help.
So next up, we have number 4, CC 2023-024, Memhard, amend GCO, Chapter 22, Section 22-271, parking prohibited from May 1st to September 15th, generally, and Section 22-284, service or loading zones regarding Rocky Neck Avenue, continued from 4/3/23. Is Councilor Memhard available?
No, I don't see him on the call.
Okay, so this is basically an area down Rocky Neck where there's been some parking issues and some loading issues. Scott met with traffic and talked to them about it, and their finding was to change to a service or a loading zone as opposed to a total prohibition of parking. So this allows for companies to be able to get their services delivered and with minimal disruption to the parking on Rocky Neck. Do we have any councilor questions or comments on this, or would you like to move to the motion?
I'm good. It's like all of Gloucester, everything, all the parking is becoming a premium, so to have a loading zone, service zone is important. Obviously, it takes away from potential parking spaces, but businesses have to continue to operate. So I'm in favor of moving this forward.
Excellent, Councilor Majota.
I agree with Councilor O'Hara. And I also feel like it also makes it things safer where cars won't be double parked to potentially unload or load up. So yeah, I'm in favor.
Perfect. Councilor Majota, would you like to read the motion?
Committee recommendation move to recommend that the city council amend Gloucester Code of Ordinance, chapter 22 as follows. Amend section 22-271, parking prohibited from May 1st to September 15th, generally by deleting Rocky Neck Avenue easterly side beginning at a point 137 feet from its intersection with Portland Street for a distance of 181 feet in a northerly direction. And amend section 22-284, service or loading zones by adding to the existing loading zone Rocky Neck Avenue easterly side from a point 58 feet opposite of the northerly entrance of Summit Lane in a southerly western direction for a distance of 40 feet, adding from the hours of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I so move.
Second,
All righty, and this will be a roll call. We'll start with Councilor O'Hara.
yes.
Councilor Majota.
Yes.
Councilor Nolan, yes, that passes 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Jamie, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you, Frank Majota. Thank you, Tom, for staying. And Sherry, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
Excellent. Everybody have a great night. Thank you very much.
We have to vote.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call. That's right. Councilor O'Hara,
Yes.
Councilor Majota,
Yes.
Councilor Nolan. Yes. Yes, is
Thank
that?
you.
Good night, James. See you
everybody.
tomorrow.
Take care.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
James.